fierce racing. So as I got into the sim racing world, I started also getting involved in Instagram and tracking different people who were involved doing different things. And this one young man kept showing up that was doing a lot of go-kart racing amongst other things. And I just started feeling like this kid's going somewhere. And I always see those pictures of Lewis Hamilton or Charles Leclerc racing and as little kids and growing up into who they are now. And I kind of had a sense that maybe this next guest of ours might be turning into that same kind of driver. So today we're going to interview Jackson Morley and his father, Dave Morley. Welcome, guys.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Hey. So let's start off, Jackson, first. What got you interested in racing?
Well, I've always really liked go-karting, like the family go-karts and like going fast, and like we always used to watch like NASCAR on TV, and we figured out Canadian Mini Indy, and it was like a professional go-karting place, and then I fell in love with it, and then
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. So how long ago was that, by the way?
That would have been 3 years ago, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
when
not
you
too
were
long.
when you were 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started with they have an arrive and drive program where basically they provide all of the carts and everything, and you show up and you drive. And it's but it's not like a family cartways. It's still like proper racing, like heat races and things like that. And then progressed from there to where we are now.
He got the bug, and you couldn't stop him, huh, Dave?
That's right.
So Jackson, what is your favorite thing about driving karts right now, and just racing in general? What do you love about it?
I really like the aggression, the feel, I don't know, I just
Yeah, do you love feeling like being on the edge with the
yeah,
cart, knowing where you are, you're putting it there, and
that if you make one mistake, that whole race is over. Like
that's very cool. So you have a team. What's the name of the team?
Jacko500 Racing.
Jacko. Where did Jacko come from, by the way?
To be honest, it's always just been my nickname.
Okay, that's a pretty cool nickname. I like it a lot. So
From day one, he was Jacko in the house. I don't know, and I don't know if he grew into it or how that worked out, but it's sort of stuck.
it works great. It works great. So Dave, what do you do other than being a supportive dad? What's your role in the team now?
So my main job for him is I'm his mechanic. So I do all of the mechanic work on the karts in between the races. I will fully admit he is a better driver than I am a mechanic, but he outdrives my mistakes more often than not. So that's good.
Oh, that's good. And you just taught yourself all this on the fly?
No, so we're part of a larger racing team called the Prime Power Team. They race nationally, Canada and the U.S. And so they're the team owner, the team manager, and mechanics there. We picked up basically everything from them. So Trevor Wickens and Ken O'Keefe, we learned a ton from them. And a lot of it is learning from your mistakes and trying not to repeat them.
Yeah. So what is the hardest part about running a team like this or being involved in a team like this?
I would say the hardest part is definitely the time commitment to it. I'm pretty lucky in my job. My boss, very supportive, allows us to have the time off. Like, for example, it's Tuesday today. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week, we're at the track. He's got a national race this weekend, and so we're going to be practicing and testing. And there's a lot of weeks that end up like that. And I mean, I've got another son as well, Jackson's younger brother, and it's tough to sort of juggle that and make sure that the attention is spent on both. I mean, other than the time commitment, financially, it's not a cheap sport, that's for sure. And then also your heart sort of goes into your throat when you watch him race. Sometimes he gave us a real scare in St. Petersburg, Florida this winter. He flipped the cart, and you can't do anything about it until the race is done. And so that's waiting on the sidelines for 20 minutes until the ambulance brings him back. And thank goodness he was fine. that was probably the hardest part of my life.
Yeah, I bet that would be terrifying. That's horrible. So, uh, Jackson, your younger brother, does he want to race?
No, he's not into it.
He's, is he supportive at least? Does he help you with anything?
Um, he comes to the track and he doesn't complain, and
That's
that's really all we expect from him.
that's about as supportive as you can be. Yeah.
Yeah.
He cheers him on. Jackson doesn't see it because he's on track, obviously, but no, he's. I think he's very proud of his big brother and excited for what he does. Probably gets jealous sometimes at the attention, of course, but supportive for sure.
So, Jackson, with do you do iRacing as well, right? Sim racing.
Yeah.
What's your
Yeah.
car there that you like to race?
I just finished the Formula Renault 2.0 series, and I moved up to Class C, so I'm now racing the F3 Dallara.
Oh, great. Yeah, I actually, I'm still sort of in that Formula Renault 2.0 series. I, because I do a lot with this site, and I do a lot of beginner's guide track guides and such. I'm so behind on learning tracks because I'm new to iRacing that I never can keep up with the series. I got enough to get up to C, C, whatever C classification or whatever, but I really want to do the whole season. But I'm still just trying to get used to sim racing. It's a lot different from driving a real car. I mean, that's one thing I always say in all of these things, that when you drive something real, you feel it. You can, especially a kart, you feel it in your bottom, as you're sliding. How do you
Yeah.
feel sim racing is to you with regards to that? Do you get used to it, or?
Yeah. Well, of course, the longer you do it, the more comfortable you get. But I'd say newer to iRacing too. But you know,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he started December, January, something like that
January, December,
in
yeah.
iRacing. And I mean, the racing rig that we have isn't state of the art by any stretch of the imagination. Jackson and I actually built it together. We got plans off of a website, I can't recall which it was, and went to
junkyard and
went to
pulled
a
a
junk.
seat out of a car.
Yeah,
I saw
he
that
must have
post.
sent
Yeah.
30 cars before he got the one that he wanted. I think it was out of a Celica.
Yeah.
But it works, and I think it's helped him with his racecraft for sure.
Yeah, definitely more seat time is always going to help no matter what it is. And so what's just so people know about the rig, what are you using for a wheel and pedals and such?
Logitech G29.
Okay. All right. I'm on the Thrustmaster T150, baseline, absolute lowest you can find. But it's fine.
When we first built it, it was for PlayStation, but I wanted to make sure that the wheel was adaptable, and so that was the one that works PlayStation or computer. And then so for Christmas this year, we got him the gaming computer to do iRacing and kartcraft and whatever else.
Well, just so you know that I just did an interview, I don't think it's up yet, or it will be shortly, with a driver who's one of the top Skip Barber iRacing series drivers. And he actually even won enough to get a free, series of classes from them. And so he's usually top 5 easily. He's on that same wheel and pedal set. So you're definitely right. You can do a lot with, it's not the gear, it's the driver.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's cool. The Skip Arbors, that you were going to do that, and then you went for the F3 instead.
Yeah. I tried them both,
No,
and
that's
I liked the F3 better.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow the Formula One path, so Formula Renault
Sure.
2.0, and then so on up. So let's talk a little bit again about the team. Dave, what's the future plan, or Jackson? You can tell me, where do you see yourself going here? What's the goal? What's the end game? I know the answer to this question.
Formula One.
All right.
I want to go.
That's cool. So Dave, how do you see yourself getting there? What's the plan? I know sponsorship will be a big part of it, but
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, so that was a big component this year. So last year he raced, he strictly raced 4-stroke, like Briggs and Stratton Cadet. And so this year we've added 2-stroke. So he's racing in the Vortex Mini Rock series as well. And that's much more in line with how an F1 race would go, and also more in line with being expensive. But it's basically we're going to go as far as we can, and for as long as he wants to do it. If he gets to a point where he says, you know what, this just isn't fun anymore, I want to go back to club racing, or I want to try volleyball or whatever, then so be it. It's not something that we're going to push. But I've told him if we're going to be racing at above club level, then you've got to take it seriously, and we've got to be going for practice and training and coaching and whatever we can. But yeah, the guys at the Prime Power Team have been super supportive with us and helping sort of build a path for where Jackson needs to go and what he should be racing and which races he should be attending. And so I sort of lean on them, and the team boss, Trevor Wickens, leaning on him as to his advice as to where to go. And he has many drivers that have gone on to much bigger things. So he sort of knows the path to get us there, and I'm just going to follow it.
That's very good. So Jackson, how are you feeling? Do you want to do volleyball instead?
No.
All right.
No.
That's the
So far, I'm sticking with go-karting.
All right, good. So tell me what do the sponsors get when they get involved with the team, other than attachment to. Jackson's doing well. I will say that to the audience here. I see a lot of podiums for Jackson, so I know you're riding along with somebody who's actually successful, which is great. But what else do you offer? Tell me a little bit more to what you tell sponsors.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the appeal is sponsors wanting to get in sort of at the grassroots level with someone that they can grow with. And I mean, that's our hope too, is we're not just looking for a handout or cash. We want to sort of partner with them and make it as beneficial as possible. There really is only so much that you can provide. I mean, the sponsors that we have, his kart is deckled out with all of our sponsors. And so his kart is, when he's racing, you end up getting featured in some news articles like on Canadian Karting News and things like that, and the logos are all there. The Florida Winter Tour series that he did was all televised, so that helped as well, and some eyeballs on there. Our racing trailer is covered with all of our sponsors as well, and the other thing is any sort of, if a sponsor's having sort of like an event and they want us to show up with our go-kart and help them with that, whether it's like a family fun fair or whatever, we're happy to do that, or represent their product or showcase them on Instagram, Facebook, wherever. Honestly, we're game to do whatever they need us to do so that it is a win-win relationship. And obviously the goal is that they're a long-term sponsor and can keep coming back year after year if it's something that's beneficial.
That's great. Okay, so Jackson, if you are a very experienced driver and compared to many people, or a lot of people would look to you for advice on, how to get better, how to be faster either in iRacing or in a kart. What would be your number one piece of advice you'd give to young drivers that are wanting to be more like you and excel like you are?
The number one thing would probably be, like, if there is a gap, take it. Like, there is even the slightest possibility, if it's in a final race and it's for the lead or something, take it.
Well,
What's Trevor always say?
Don't pass on the outside.
Yeah, that's good advice. That's practical. I'll take your advice, because that also is like a life advice thing, is that you're doing you're doing actually that with life. You are, both of you, you're taking the gap. You're not sitting back and waiting for somebody to hand you an opportunity. You're making the opportunity for yourself. So both in racing and in life, that's great advice. So thank you for that. Last question for you, Dave. When does he transition to a full car?
I'm not entirely sure.
He needs to be a little taller, maybe, but...
Yeah, I was talking to one of the other dads the other day, and his kid is transitioning. I can't remember what series, but I think he's about 15 or so. So probably in and around there. But honestly, we're taking it 1 year at a time, one race at a time, really, and sort of progressing from there. There are some guys that stick with karts forever because they love karting, right? And so it's I don't know. We'll take it one step at a time, but yeah, I'm not. He's 10. I'm not super eager to get there just yet.
Right. That makes sense. Is the cart you're running now a shifter cart or?
No. When does shifter start? Age 15, something like
Oh,
that.
really?
14, 15. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bit young yet for that.
I didn't realize that. I did obviously all this racing when I was already an adult, so I didn't get to do it as a kid. So I had no idea
Yeah.
what that was. But I love shifter
Yeah.
carts too, because
The race he'll be at this weekend. There is a shifter class going. And they're always fun to watch.
all right. Well, so here's the plan. Sometime soon, I want to come up to either a test session or whatever you guys are doing with a camera, and
Okay.
I want to kind of follow you around maybe for a day and show everybody what it's like to be on that path, if you don't mind. And maybe I'll jump in a cart and you can teach me a couple things too, and we'll have some fun together on cart. I
That'd be
take the
awesome.
gap, by the way. I do take the gap. But anyway, thanks so much for talking to us, and we will look forward to seeing you soon.
This was awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackson. We look forward to following your career and watching you in Formula One soon enough. And thank you, Dave, for sharing your time, and we hope the team continues to build. And to you, all you viewers, thank you for watching, and we look forward to the next installment and having you with us again. Until then, be safe out there.